Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we discuss a 2025 limited edition of 500 pieces in hardened blackened steel from Seiko. This is the Prospex Speedtimer Mechanical Chronograph Datsun 240Z limited edition. It is the SRQ057J1. So it is a commemoration of the shared heritage of the Seiko Speedtimer of 1969 and the Datsun 240Z, which came out the same year. I believe in the Japanese domestic market would have been known as the Fair Lady Z. So this watch is a tribute to that shared timeline. And cars and watches, they tend to go together. A lot of the same folks tend to like one, the other, and both. So let's take a look at this watch in terms of size. 42 millimeters in diameter. It's 15.6 millimeters thick, and then 49.4 from lug to lug with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters circumference. It's actually fairly large. I would recommend your wrist be my size or larger to wear this. We'll zoom out a little bit, get a distance shot. You can see why I think proportionally this is fine for 16 centimeters. But if your wrist is smaller, you're going to want to seek a smaller Seiko. Now the timepiece feels nice. It's a comfortable, well-balanced watch. It has a little bit of a curvature to the edge of the lug and then a strap that's nicely made, calfskin and black. You can see it's got a little bolstering or stuffing to give it volume, monotone stitch, a edge that has been shear cut and then lacquered for refinement. We have a little bit of a contrasting binding stitch that matches the sort of aged loom effect on the dial. It's Fotina, but it's attractive. And then we've got a matching blackened clasp that features trigger release. And you can see it too has been Datsun co-branded. What's nice here is that it actually has a combination of polish and satin finish on the clasp, so attention to detail here is a strong suit. There's also a little bit more of that contrasting binding stitch. Now the case is made of hardened steel, and the coating itself is described as a hard black coating, so it should be fairly durable, though temper your expectations because it's not black ceramic, but it is designed to be rugged in daily use. You shouldn't have to worry about conventional contact with your cuff or your sleeve. Unbranded crown, a little bit of a heritage element, and we've got pump pushers on a case that is angular and also curved in equal measure with both satin and polish and 100-meter water resistance, though it is not a screw-down crown. We have a tachymetric bezel that is designed to emulate the originals. You have the ability to gauge both fast things using the primary scale and somewhat slower things, including the scope between 50 and 60 kilometers per hour, much like the 1969 original. That is a heritage element there. Taking a look underneath the crystal, we have a dial that is, if nothing else, colorful. We have Fotina, we have white, we have red, we have blue, we have the Speedtimer and the Prospex and the Datsun and the Seiko logos. The indices are applied, as is the Seiko logo. It's a nice upscale look. You can see the hands are half brushed and half polished for better contrast. Chronograph, we also have a date. Now the watch features hacking seconds, stop seconds, so you can set it to a reference time. It also features a quick set for the date. Get a little look at the loom shot so we can better appreciate that. You can see it is quite bright in spite of the use of the darker tone of luminescent material. Lumabright is the term that's used. Now we have a combination of a column wheel and a vertical clutch, which goes right back to the original 6139 calibers that Seiko launched in 1969. So the column wheel makes for a very crisp action, and then the vertical clutch makes for a seamless engagement. So when it starts up, there's no jump or stagger. This is the way Seiko and also Grand Seiko have always done their chronographs. So you get two fairly upscale features in a relatively affordable watch. Now, turn it all over, you can see the Datsun script is also visible on the back, and this one is in excellent condition. Individual numbering out of 500. It uses caliber 8R48, which is automatic winding. It's got a approximately 45-hour power reserve. It pivots on 34 joules. It has the stop seconds, the quick set, the column wheel, and the vertical clutch. And while it is not a super finely adjusted movement, its quoted accuracy is plus 25, minus 15 seconds per day, you have to realize that those don't aggregate in a linear fashion, as it will tend to either gain or lose by different margins on different days. So in reality, many folks find that these Seiko watches, which are modestly rated for accuracy, actually keep pretty good time over time, so over the course of a week or a month. That's sort of how they are regulated to operate. They will gain and they will lose, and while the daily fluctuations can be large, the long-term trend is generally a very pleasant surprise. Getting close to the dial, you can see that there's a nice granular texture to the dial base, and then we have the sunken sub-registers, which are quite attractive. As you can see, it is a very nuanced watch and a fun piece of horological and automotive history. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.